What up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Zachary Leem, and today we're going to be taking a quiz on Chapter 1 of my new book called The Poisonous Ranger. For those of you who've not read the chapter yet, please stop the video now, because the chapter will get spoiled for you in this video. As we take this quiz, you can put a piece of paper, write down the answers. There's gonna be multiple choice, or think about them in your head and comment down below. Comment down below the questions. See what you think of each of them, or what you think the answer is. Maybe you know because you read the chapter, or maybe you haven't. It's fun to see how much you know without reading the chapter, right? Or see how much you know after reading the chapter. It depends on which one you've done. If you haven't, maybe you've not read the chapter yet. Maybe you have read the chapter. Also, I recommend that you probably should read the chapter first before doing this quiz, and then unless you get spoiled. Unless you don't care that it's spoiled. Unless you don't care that the chapter's spoiled, and just take the quiz before. Whatever. And for those of you who are confused on Chapter 1, please leave a comment down below saying, or please please email me for a video on the explanation, because I will give you an explanation on Chapter 1. Things might not make sense, things might not make sense, things that you just want clarification on. I will go back and edit Chapter 1. I have some things I need to change, so it's not the full version of Chapter 1 yet, but it's not the final published version of Chapter 1, but anyways, let's get started. First thing we're going to do is copy. We got to put that into ChatGPT, the whole chapter, and say, please make me a 50 question multiple choice quiz based 50 question comprehension multiple choice quiz based on Chapter 1 above. It needs to generate one question at a time. Generate one question at a time. And generate the next question. And generate the next question without. And generate the next question after you check my answers. Make every 5 questions harder, level 1 to 10, and include the number I got right. Include the number I got right when showing me the answer. So what I have it to do is make me a 50 question comprehension multiple choice quiz based on the Chapter 1 above. It's going to generate one question at a time instead of having the whole list. And it's going to generate the next question after, and it's going to check our answer. It's going to check my answers, and it's going to check our answers and then generate the next question. And it's going to make every 5 questions harder, and include the number that we got right after showing us the answer. So here we go. Question 1. Let's get this quiz started. Leave a comment down below how many you think I'll get right. Will I get all 50 right? Will I get 49, 48 right? Or will I get 40 right? Here we go. Perfect. We'll make this an interactive 50 question comprehension quiz based on Chapter 1, The Sleepy Rangers. Here's how it'll work. I'll give you one multiple choice question at a time. You'll answer, for example, A or B. I'll tell you if you're correct, show the correct answer and explanation, and track the total score. Every 5 questions, the difficulty increases. Level 1. If every 5 questions, the difficulty increases. Level 1 to level 10. Ready? Let's begin. The quiz begins in 3, 2, 1, go. Question 1, level 1. Okay, what city does the story begin in? A. San Francisco, B. Los Angeles, C. New York City, or D. Chicago? I know this one. I always make my cities as a city. I always make my stories be set in Los Angeles, so B. Los Angeles. Correct. Answer B, Los Angeles. The explanation. The story opens with vivid descriptions of the busy streets of Los Angeles under the hot sun. Score, 1 out of 1. Question 2. Leave a comment down below if that's what you think. If ChatGPT did the setup for the answer check correctly. Did it do the score correctly? Did it do the answer correctly? Did the explanation correctly? Whatever. Question 2. Did it actually say I got it correct? Leave a comment down below. Question 2. Question to level 1. What time of day is it when the story begins? Oh boy. How is this a level 1 question? Leave a comment down below what you think. Is it A, 10 o'clock a.m., B, 12 o'clock p.m., C, 2 o'clock p.m., or D, 4 o'clock p.m.? I think it's 2 o'clock, right? Because I think it was in the afternoon. 10 o'clock is the morning. Noon, it just seems like it's early afternoon. I wouldn't include early afternoon. C. Oh, sorry, 2 o'clock seemed like the time I would set the story in. 4 o'clock is like late evening. Is like 4 o'clock is like late afternoon, early evening. So I think it's C. C. Correct. Correct again. Yes. 2 o'clock is C. Answer is C. 2 o'clock p.m. The narration clearly states it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon in June of 2028. Score 2-2. I like how it puts the context from the. I like how it cites the line in the story or a line in the chapter that says it. Yeah, score 2 out of 2. Question 3, level 1. Who's the Red Ranger and leader of the Megaforce team? A. Troy Burrows, B. Noah Carver, C. Zachary Halim, or D. Jake Colling? I know it's me. C. Correct. Okay. C. Zachary Halim. Zachary Halim is described as the Red Ranger, the leader of the team. Score 3 out of 3. Question 4, level 1. Who is Zachary Halim's girlfriend? Well, these are all so easy. A. Jim Moran, B. Emma Goodall, C. Bella Hartley, or D. Sarah Thompson? These 4, I all like the B, C, and D. I always include in ChatGPT, so that's why I always make in my story, put in my stories. So that's why it's one of the answer choices. So it's B. C, correct again. Oh, sorry, correct again. B, Emma Goodall. The story states that the only girl you cared about was Emma Goodall, who is also the Pink Megaforce Ranger. Score 4 out of 4. Question 5, level 1. Move my face. Question 5, level 1. What are the Lugies described as? Leave a comment down below. A. Blue robots with laser arms. B. Yellowish foot soldiers with black stripes and no faces. C. Shadow-like ghosts with claws. Or D. Metallic creatures with glowing eyes. B. Correct. B. Yellowish foot soldiers with black stripes and no faces. The text describes Lugies as these weird yellowish foot soldiers with black stripes, no faces, and knee-high boots. Here's what a Lugie looks like. Come on. There we go. This is what a Lugie looks like. So they kind of have no faces. Or they have no faces. The eye is in their chest. Anyways, back to the quiz. Question 6, level 2, which is slightly harder. Okay, why did the city of Los Angeles need... Oh, no, not why questions. Why did the city of Los Angeles need a new team of Power Rangers 3 years ago? Oh, A, the previous team retired. B, the previous teams were called to protect other regions. C, Rita Repulsa defeated the old Rangers. Or D, Los Angeles didn't want the old teams anymore. I think it's B, right? The other teams didn't retire. They moved to other regions. So B, correct. B, the previous teams were called to protect other regions. The text says 3 years ago, the Ninja Steel Power Rangers received a call to protect the eastern United States and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to protect Arizona, New Mexico, which left LA needing a new team. Score 656. Question 7, level 2. Which ranger is described as someone who almost never sleeps and trains constantly? A. Jake Colling, B. Troy Burrows, C. Noah Carver, or D. Zachary Lean? Jake, I don't think trains. Jake doesn't want to train. Jake doesn't want to have anything to do with fighting. Troy sounds like a guy who would train. Noah sounds like a guy who's Noah's the sciencey guy, and I'm in the I think I'm in the story I think I'm sleeping in the story at this time, so I think it's Troy. Is it Troy? Correct. Okay, Troy Burrows. Troy is described as training late into the night, rarely sleeping, and constantly practicing kicks and punches in his backyard. Question 8, level 2. What is Noah Carver's main focus when he stays awake instead of sleeping? A. Practicing martial arts. I think we just went over that in question 7. B. Cooking meals for the team. C. Testing algorithms to check energy surges from enemies. Or D. Watching videos about past battles. He's the sciencey type guy. I feel like I predicted question 8 when I said it's the sciencey type guys. It's C. I feel like I'm gonna make a mistake. I feel like I'm gonna make a mistake and put another answer, or put an answer that I know is wrong in the text box. Yeah, C. Oh, correct. Okay, C. Testing algorithms to track energy surges from enemies. Noah spends his awake time testing a new algorithm that could track. Noah spends his awake time testing a new algorithm that could track energy surges, specifically the kind their enemies emitted when they teleport into the city. Okay, score 8 out of 8. 100%. Let's go. Question 9, level 2. Why did Jake initially get worried when trying to call the other Rangers? He thought they were fighting a monster without him. He couldn't reach anyone and thought something had happened. He forgot the phone numbers of his teammates. He wanted to warn them about a heat wave. I think it's B, right? He couldn't reach anyone. I don't think they were fighting a monster without him because they were supposed to be sleeping. Correct. B. He couldn't reach anyone and thought something had happened. Jake couldn't get an answer from Zachary, Emma, or Joy and thought that something happened to Zachary, Emma, or Joy, which made him worried. Question 10, level 2, harder than the first 5. Which of the following best describes the city's atmosphere just before the story hits a new danger? Which of the following best describes the city's atmosphere just before the story hits a new danger? Oh, no. First question wrong? I don't know. A. Quiet, calm, but subtly foreboding. B. Chaotic with constant monster attacks. C. Peaceful, no sense of danger at all. Or D. Filled with storms and danger. Oh, C. It's peaceful. Incorrect. No! Is it quiet, calm, but subtly foreboding? The text describes the streets as too quiet, like the city knew something was coming. And mentions shadows feeling heavier, indicating a calm that hides in approaching danger. Oh, I remember that. I remember writing that. It was too quiet, like the city knew something was coming. I knew that because there's at the end of the chapter, the atmosphere gets like heavier and heavier, and like suddenly so chaotic. That people might be thinking you might have hit B. You might have answered B because it was chaotic. But no, with constant monster attacks, there wasn't any constant monster attacks. But it got so chaotic, the atmosphere got so chaotic and intense, and because there's the energy surge on the moon. Because the energy surge on the moon was controlling the atmosphere of the Earth, and as it was preparing for its attack. So all of them were all of these were like really good answers. They were really good answers. Okay. So no. Alright, so 9 out of 10. So I'm at 90%. So what's your score at the end of what's the score at the end of the first 100 questions? Leave a comment down below. We're 1/5 of the way done with the quiz. Question 11, level 3. Question 11, level 3. Increasing difficulty. Oh boy. What is the significance? Oh no. What is the significance of the glowing morph on Zachary's nightstand? A. It signals that the team must immediately battle a monster. B. It pulses subtly, indicating residual energy from the fight. C. It alerts Emma that Zachary's awake. And D. It functions as a communication device with the moon. I don't think it is A. C. I don't think it is C. I mean, she does come in. Emma does come and wake Zachary up. Well, Zachary's not really sleeping, but Emma comes to Zachary's house, and so they can hang out, and ends up sleeping with him in the same bed, which is kind of weird, I know. Because I know they're teenagers. But teenagers kind of do that sometimes. But I don't think it's C. D. It is definitely not D. There's definitely not a communication device with the moon. I definitely do remember not putting that in the chapter. So I think it's B. It's B. My downfall starts right now. Okay, my downfall's not starting right now. It's correct. It's B. It pulses subtly, indicating the residual energy from the fight. The story mentions his Megaforce Morpher sat on his nightstand, its little light still glowing faintly like it didn't know the fight was over, showing lingering energy. Score 10 out of 11. Okay, question 12, level 3. What detail highlights that the Megaforce Rangers are still human despite being superheroes? They can teleport anywhere instantly. That sounds like a superhero. They experience exhaustion and pressure from their responsibilities. I do remember writing something about responsibilities and how it's like you have so much pressure when you're a superhero with responsibilities. They wear colored helmets that make them invincible. That sounds like a superhero. They never lose a battle. That sounds like a superhero. So I think it's B. A lot of B's in this quiz. Yeah, that's what I thought. Correct. I knew it was right before. I knew it was correct before it even showed up. B. They experience exhaustion and pressure from their responsibilities. The text emphasizes people look at them like they're superheroes, but they're just regular people under the helmets, and discusses how carrying the weight of their duties wears them down. I don't think that's the correct line for it. If you ever want to do an essay on my chapter, feel free to use any of these quotes. These are perfect quotes for it. Question 13, level 3. Oh, and also, whoever's the first person to submit a well-written essay of this chapter will be my best friend. Will be my best friend in the school, because that just shows that they are really into my story, and they really are appreciative of my story, and they don't just leave it in their inbox and never read it. It just shows that they read it and they've taken all the knowledge of it, and also they're ready for, and also that they're wanting and they're eager to see chapter 2, which the sneak peek will come in tomorrow morning. So look in your inboxes for the sneak peek for those who have chapter 1. Why does Emma visit Zachary in the afternoon? Question 13, level 3. Why does Emma visit Zachary in the afternoon? A. To warn him about this is like a level 1 question. A. To warn him about a monster attack. B. To spend time together as battles limit their moments. C. To train for the next fight. Or D. To give him a new Morpher upgrade. B. I don't think it's D, because Emma, the Pink Ranger, would not give Zachary, the leader, and the Red Ranger a Morpher upgrade. That's only something Kosei would do. Which Kosei doesn't come until chapter 2, so there's not going to be any questions about him in this quiz. Correct. B. To spend time together as battles limit their moments. Emma says feels like the constant battles don't let us spend much time together, showing her visit is for personal time, not for battle preparation. Score 12 out of 13. That should be 13 out of 13. Question 14, level 3. What activity do Jake and Gia enjoy together during the quiet afternoon? A. Training in martial arts. B. Watching a movie and relaxing. C. Practicing with morphers. Or D. Studying energy algorithms with Noah. Jake and Gia don't train. They're not supposed to be practicing with their morphers, which is a rule that all Rangers have. They shouldn't be practicing morphing. They shouldn't train while morphed. That's a rule that all Power Rangers have. And also not to use their morphers for personal gain. Then D. Studying energy algorithms with Noah. They're not sciencey type guys, so it's B again. Should have ChatGPT make it not B, but that would just be cheating. So then they'll know it's not B. Correct. Answer B. Watching a movie and relaxing. Explanation. The text describes Jake and Gia curled up together on the couch with the soft glow of the TV flickering across their faces as the movie played, enjoying a rare moment of peace. Question 15, level 3, harder than previous 5. Oh my gosh, why is the last question of every level the hardest? What subtle hint indicates that something is awakening on the moon? Oh my gosh. A for A. A loud explosion shakes the city. B. Machinery hums faintly and lights blink across the hidden console. C. Noah's computer sends a direct warning. D. Troy's training intensifies automatically. I believe it's B, also because B was the last 4 answers. And B was the question for. B was the answer. B was the answer for the last 4 questions. But I think it's B. I don't think there was a loud explosion. Correct. B. Machinery hums faintly and lights blink across the hidden console. The text states, machinery hummed faintly. Tiny lights flickered across a hidden console, one after another, like a heartbeat slowly awakening beneath the lunar dust, signaling an awakening force. Question 16. Level 4, increasing difficulty. What role does Noah's work with energy readings play in the story? A. It replaces the need for rangers in battle. B. It provides insight into enemy movements and teleportation. C. It allows him to train physically like the other rangers. D. It distracts him from the team's responsibilities. And B. And it doesn't have to be B every time, just to make it not B. Correct. And yes, the correct answer isn't always B. Okay. And that's a hint. Okay. Answer. B. It provides insight into enemy movements and teleportation. Explanation. Noah was in the middle of testing new algorithms that could track energy surges, specifically the kind their enemies emitted when they teleported into the city, giving the team an advantage. Score 15 out of 16. Question 17, level 4. Which of the following best describes there could be multiple ones, but it would be best. I hate these questions. I hate these questions with ACTs, tests, I don't know. Which of the following best describes the effect of the city's heat on the people at the beginning of the chapter? A. They are unaffected and go about their day normally. B. They use paper fans and try to stay cool while continuing daily activities. C. They immediately seek shelter indoors. D. They cancel all outdoor activities due to the heat wave. D. Yeah, I remember it's also set in the afternoon, like the hottest part of the year, the hottest part of the summer, and yeah, like the hardest part of the year, hottest part of the summer, and and it's it's set in the total heat wave since it's the hottest part of the summer. Sorry, I was thinking about the next question. I was looking at the next question. Correct. B. They use paper fans and try to stay cool while continuing daily activities. The text describes people walking with shopping bags, holding paper fans to fight the blazing sun, showing they adapt but continue their routines. Score 16 out of 17. Question 18, level 4. Which two sports teams are mentioned in the chapter as part of past events? A. Los Angeles Ice Machiners and San Francisco Nightcrawlers. B. Los Angeles Lakers and San Francisco Giants. C. Mighty Morphin Rangers and Ninja Steel Rangers. D. New York Knights and Chicago Wolves. I'll just tell you right now, don't pick C. It is not C. You can pick C if you want. You're just messing around, but don't pick C. That's the two Rangers that moved on. That they received a call to protect other parts of the United States. So it's A. It's finally A. Wow, we haven't had an A one yet. A. And it's also not something that's besides B. Yeah. Correct. Answer. A. Los Angeles. A. Los Angeles Ice Machiners and San Francisco Nightcrawlers. Explanation. The chapter mentions that the Ice Machiners had won the state championship 2 years in a row, and the Nightcrawlers finally made it to the World Championship last year. Okay. Score 17 out of 18. Question 19, level 4. Yeah, question 19, level 4. Almost done with level 4. Next question, level 20 is going to be the hardest out of level 4. What is the narrative purpose? How did I get a level 2 question wrong? I'm doing well in level 3 and level 4. Probably because it's always B. What is the narrative purpose of describing the city as too quiet, like the city knew something was coming? We just had this. It's just the opposite. So A, to show the city is completely safe. B, to foreshadow an impending threat. C, to emphasize the heat wave's impact. Or D, to explain why the Rangers are bored. It's B. We just had this question. It's just flip-flop. The answer explanation was using that line. So correct answer B, to foreshadow an impending threat. Explanation. The text uses this description to subtly hint that Reader Pulse's next move is already unfolding and danger is approaching. Score 18 out of 19. So question 20, level 4, harder than the previous 5. Oh my gosh. Which detail emphasizes the Rangers' human vulnerabilities? Which detail emphasizes the Rangers' human vulnerability despite their powers? Which detail? Oh, now we're getting the parts where I have to reread the question several times. Which detail emphasizes the Rangers' human vulnerability despite their powers? A. Their ability to defeat monsters effortlessly. B. Their exhaustion, stress, and need for rest after battles. C. Their advanced technology and morphers. D. Their constant training and skill improvements. I think it's B again. Oh my gosh, we had an A, and now it's back to forever B's. Correct. Answer. B. Their exhaustion, stress, and need for rest after battles. Explanation. The chapter repeatedly notes how battles take something out of you, and that Rangers feel the heavy weight of responsibility, showing they are human beneath the helmets. Score, 19 out of 20. Question 20. Question 21. Question 21. Yeah. Question 21. Level. Yeah. Question 20. Sorry, my watch. That's my watch. It's 5 o'clock already. Yeah. I've been working a lot on my Spanish video. It's already 5 o'clock. Question 21. Level 5. Level 5 difficulty. Level 5 difficulty begins here. Oh my. Oh no. The second half of the quiz is gonna be so hard. We're not in the second half of the quiz yet. No. How does the story depict the heat and air in Los Angeles during the afternoon? Depict. Okay. The sun is blazing, but the air and trees provide some relief. It is raining, making the streets cool. People stay indoors because of unbearable heat. The wind is calm, and the city feels completely still. I think it's A. Oh man, I'm doing so much better than I thought. Okay, A. The sun is blazing, but the air and trees provide some relief. Explanation. The text describes the air as refreshing, battling the hot sun, and trees giving shade, which helps people cope with the heat. Score 20 out of 21. Question 22, level 5. What personal trait of Zachary is highlighted? What personal trait of Zachary is highlighted when he watches Emma? What personal trait of Zachary is highlighted when he watches Emma sleep? A. His impatience for the next battle. B. His protective and caring nature. C. His desire to train alone. D. His focus on his Morpheus power ratings. Definitely not D. It's definitely not D. I think it's definitely not A. He's definitely not impatient. Like, he's never impatient for the next battle. No Rangers are impatient for the next battle. His desire to train alone. He loves training with his fellow Rangers. So it's B again. My gosh, B is the most. B is the most. I'm just gonna keep clicking B. I don't care if I get them wrong. Correct. Answer. B. His protective and caring nature. Explanation. Zachary peeked down at her with one eye open, a soft smile on his face. She was safe, and that's all that mattered, for now. Highlighting his care for Emma's safety. Highlighting his care for Emma's safety. Okay. Score 21 out of 22. Question 23, level 5. Which detail shows that Troy respects Zachary's leadership despite his own stubbornness? We're halfway done with level 5. Oh my gosh. Which detail shows that Troy respects Zachary's leadership despite his own stubbornness? A. He ignores all of Zachary's advice. B. He eventually goes to sleep after Zachary calls him. C. He trains even harder than Zachary suggests. D. He decides to fight monsters. D. He decides to fight monsters alone without the team. D. He decides to fight monsters alone without the team. Which detail shows that Troy respects Zachary's leadership despite his own stubbornness? He eventually goes to sleep after Zachary calls him. And yeah. You remember he ignored the first call, but Zachary picked up less than 5 minutes later and told him to go to sleep. And they told him he was training a lot, and told him he was training a little too much, and tells him to go to sleep. Correct. Answer. B. He eventually goes to sleep after Zachary calls him. Explanation. Despite resisting at first, Troy admits, "Okay, you're right. I'll go inside and put myself to sleep," showing he trusts Zachary's judgment. Score 22 out of 23. Explanation. I love the explanations. I love reading them. Quotes from my own book, which is just emotional. Question 24, level 5. Why does Jake initially try to call every teammate? A. To invite them to a party. B. To make sure everyone is safe. C. To ask about the next training schedule. D. To warn them about the heat wave. I told you Jake doesn't want to have anything to do with fighting or training, so it's not C. To warn them about the heat wave. I feel like we had a previous answer about that and it was wrong, so D is not right. A. To invite them to a party. B. To make sure everyone is safe. He would invite them to a party. He would definitely invite them to a party, but I don't remember writing something about a party in chapter 1. I feel like that's just the intro, and I don't feel like a party would make sense with the tension in the air and the atmosphere getting heavier and the thing on the moon, like the energy surge on the moon. I feel like this party is just joyful, and this is like, I feel like a party is not intense, and this is an intense chapter, especially at the end. So I don't feel like it's A. And like the scene with Jake and Gia and where the scene with where this question comes from is feel like it. The scene where this chapter's come from, the scene where this chapter comes, the scene where this question comes from, is in the later part of the chapter, or it is like near the end of the chapter, middle to end. So I feel like it's B again. I feel like he makes sure everyone is safe, and he would. I don't think he would do that though. Like I don't think Jake is the type of person who would do that, but I think ChatGPT made this little wrong. I don't think any of them are right. I feel like they made, and I feel like ChatGPT made this answer a little too vague. Like make sure everyone is safe. Jake wouldn't do that. So if you got this wrong, I get why. Jake is not the type of person who would make sure everyone is safe, and you read about that in the chapter. But I feel like yeah. What the answer choice should be is he wanted to see what happened to Gia. Like, wanted to ask the Rangers what happened to Gia. I feel like that's why. But I got it correct. If you got it correct, leave a comment down below with a heart. And with a thumbs up. Sorry, thumbs up. B, to make sure everyone is safe. Jake becomes worried when he can't reach Zachary and Troy and thought that something happened to Zachary and Troy, showing his concern for the safety. Oh, that makes more sense. I should have read the explanation. He's concerned for their safety because he thought something happened to them. Oh, because he became worried. That makes sense. Sorry, ChatGPT. You just made it a little too vague. Score 23 out of 24. Question 25, level 5, harder than the previous 5. Oh no. What is the effect? Why is the last question of every is the hardest in the level? What is the effect of the narrative describing the moon with machinery and pulsing lights? It creates a humorous scene unrelated to the main plot. It foreshadows the awakening of a new powerful threat. It explains why the Rangers need more sleep. It emphasizes the heat in Los Angeles. It does not emphasize the heat in Los Angeles. It's B. B. Correct. Answer, B. It foreshadows the awakening of a new powerful threat. Explanation. The pulsing lights and machinery under the lunar surface indicate that something ancient and dangerous is stirring, setting up the next conflict for the Rangers. Score, 24 out of 25. Question 26. Question 26, level 6. Difficulty increasing. My gosh, it's level 6. Which of the following describes the atmosphere in Los Angeles just before the wind and temperature suddenly change? Which of the following describes the atmosphere in Los Angeles just before the wind and temperature suddenly change? Okay, I feel like we had this. This is the one I got wrong. It's crowded streets with panicked people, normal summer bustle but with subtle unease, heavy rainfall and dark clouds, streets completely empty and abandoned. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna get another one wrong. I don't think the streets are completely empty. I feel like people are still bustling. I think I remember saying something about like the streets are still bustling and like I don't know. If you guys have a better score at the end, I feel embarrassed because I'm the one who wrote the story and I read the chapter like 5 times already, trying to make sure I connect chapter 2 to chapter 1. Heavy rainfall and dark clouds. It didn't rain at all because it would have made the heat. It would make the heat cool down. It would make the city cool down, and I remember saying that the people had to turn their fans up to full, like the second last sentence, the second last line of the chapter. Like people had to turn their volume. People had to turn their power on their fans to full blast because it got even hotter. Normal summer bustle, but with a subtle unease. Yeah, I think it's B. I don't think people were panicking. People just went their own separate ways. I think people just continue living their normal life. So is it B? Correct. Okay. Thank God. Level 6. I'm afraid for level 6 and beyond. I'm afraid for level 6 especially. Answer B. Normal summer bustle with subtle unease. Explanation. The chapter describes people shopping and driving as usual, but notes the streets felt too quiet, like the city knew something was coming, showing a hidden tension beneath normal activity. Wow. Same line 3 times this quiz. That's definitely not where I was thinking. That's definitely not where I was thinking this question was coming from. Question 27, level 6. What? Oh, no. I hate these. What literary technique is used when the grass rippled like waves beneath the phantom? Oh, simile. B. Metaphor, simile, hyperbole, or personification? B. Simile, because of the word like. B. Simile. The comparison uses like to describe the grass moving like waves beneath the phantom tide, which is a classic example of a simile. Question 28, level 6. Oh, score 26 out of 27. 6-7. You were waiting for that, I know. It was late in the chapter. I knew it was late in the video. I knew I was gonna do that. Question 28, level 6. What emotion is emphasized when the air froze and heavy sounds passed down as if the planet itself were holding its breath? What emotion is emphasized? Joy and celebration, tension and anticipation, confusion, forgetfulness, or relief and calm? It's B. Randomize the correct choice, because it seems like it is always B. That happens when you're... It seems like when you take a ChatGPT generated quiz, it always just does the same answer choice and just makes the quiz easy, even though you might not know the answer. You just pick the answer that was chosen the most. You just pick the letter that was chosen the most. And it's just whenever taking like a ChatGPT generated quiz, it always seems like it picks the correct answer. It picks the same answer choice. So like, if you get a question, like if you don't know the question or if you don't know the answer, you just pick the one you pick the letter that's chosen the most, and it's right. Right. Correct. And noted mix of the answer choices, the answer letters moving forward. Okay, thank you. Answer D. It was B. Tension and anticipation. Wait, let's check here. Okay, that's checking. Actually, the text says, then suddenly the world went still, the air froze, and a heavy sound pressed down into the planet itself for holding its breath, which creates a feeling of tension and anticipation. So the correct answer is B, tension and anticipation. Wait, said that. Score 27 out of 20. Oh, so I did get it right. Tension and anticipation was B, not D. Whatever. Okay. Question 29, level 6. Which detail from the chapter hints that the Rangers' battles are starting to take a mental toll? Oh no. A. Troy keeps training without resting. B. Zachary sees the monster's face every time he closes his eyes. C. Emma falls asleep quickly. D. No enjoys writing code. It's definitely not D, because a mental toll is like they're starting to get a mental outbreak, right? A mental break. Their brain's about to break. It's like sadness or tension, right? Tension, anticipation. So I think it's B. It's still B. I told him to fix it. It's still B. No enjoys writing code. Right, still B. Correct. Answer B. Zachary sees the monster's face every time he closes his eyes. Explanation. B. Answer. Sorry. Explanation. The chapter mentions that every time. Explanation. The chapter mentions that every time he closed his eyes, he saw that monster's face, or those annoying loogies jumping around, showing how the battles are affecting his mind. Score 20 out of 29. Mentally unstable. That's another way of saying mental toll. Question 30, level 7, more challenging. I forgot we were at level 7. Oh my gosh. Okay. What role does the description of shadows stretching unnaturally, twisting towards some unseen point above serve in the story? Wait, we're on level 7 now? I guess so. I thought question 30 was the last question of level 6, because every 5 questions. What role does the description of shadows stretching unnaturally, twisting towards some unseen point above serve in the story? A. It illustrates the city's architecture. B. It foreshadows the awakening threat from the moon. C. It shows the weather phenomenon. D. It emphasizes the Rangers' training environment. B. It's still B. ChatGPT, change the answer choices. My gosh. It's always B. Correct. Answer B. It foreshadows the awakening threat from the moon. Like I said B the most out of the 4 letters in a multiple choice question. Explanation. I did not realize it was always going to be B when I started this video, or when I started taking this quiz. Okay. Explanation: the twisting shadows align with the subtle signs of an otherworldly force stirring above. Building suspense for the new chapter approaching. Okay, you shouldn't. Can you guys hear me okay? Because my videos are always like so quiet. I've turned up my volume all the way. Just make sure. It might affect. Let's see how it is. I'll watch this video again and see. So score 29 out of 30. The twisting shadows align with the subtle signs of an otherworldly force stirring above, building suspense for the new danger approaching Earth. Score 29 out of 30. Question 31, level 7. Okay, why does okay? I can tell this doesn't go from the start of the chapter to the end of the chapter. Okay, like in a line. It goes start, end, middle, end, start, middle, start, whatever, and jumping around, which is fine. Question 31, level 7. Why does the narrative spend time describing the peaceful moments of each ranger at home? To show they are lazy and unprepared. B, to emphasize. I do not think it's A. Definitely not A. I do not remember anything. I do not remember saying anything about them being lazy. B, to describe their humanity and the contrast before danger returns. D, let's see. C, to demonstrate how important their roles are. No. D, to explain their favorite hobbies. I have to think it's D. I actually think it's D. I do not know. I think my streak of correct is ruined. Or is broken. Yeah, it's broken. Incorrect. It's B again? What in the world? Answer B, to emphasize their humanity and the contrast before danger returns. Explanation: the text describes moments like Emma sleeping, Jake and Gia watching a movie, and Troy reluctantly resting to highlight that the Rangers are normal people who need rest, making the impending threat more dramatic. Score 29 out of 31. Make it different! Oh, now it's which sentence shows. Question 32, level 7. Which sentence shows that Noah's mind continues to work on his energy tracking algorithm even while he rests? A, Noah closed his laptop and set it on his bedside table. B, his dreams carried faint traces of code and energy rings. C, Troy ran inside and climbed into bed. D, Emma rested on his arm. B. Not changing it. We haven't had a no. That's not B since I told it to fix it. Annoyed right now. Correct. This is like the most annoying video. Answer B. His dreams carried faint traces of code and energy rings. I want to stop this video. This shows that even in sleep, Noah's mind is processing the energy tracking data, reflecting his dedication and focus. Score 30 out of 32. Question 33, level 7. Which detective element suggests that the moon's awakening force is ancient and powerful? Machinery hummed faintly in unnatural rhythm. The grass rippled like waves beneath the phantom tide. Emma rested under his arm, drifting off the thoughts of peace. Troy did a couple more series of punches. It's A. It's A. Correct. Okay. Thank you. I thought it was gonna be B again. I'm like, oh my gosh. If it was B, I'm crashing out. Answer A. Answer A. Machinery hummed faintly in unnatural rhythm. Explanation: the unnatural humming and rhythm beneath the lunar surface suggests an ancient, powerful force awakening, distinct from anything ordinary. Score 31 out of 33. Question 34, level 8, harder. Oh my gosh. What in the world? It's supposed to be level 35. Well, level 30 is supposed to be level 36. What is the chapter? I hate ChatGPT so much. It had the questions, like, it had the level, it made change the levels the same. Like, it changed the levels every 5 questions like I asked it to, and now when you get to, like, the later parts of the quiz, that it changes, whatever. When it messes up once with that, it messes up every single time you change the level, because it's every 5 questions, so. What does the chapter imply about the Megaforce Rangers' leadership dynamics? Now, what does the chapter imply about the Megaforce Rangers' leadership dynamics? A. Zachary's guidance is sometimes questioned, but he is respected. B. Troy leads the team and makes all decisions. C. Emma and Gia make all battle strategies. D. Noah trains the team physically for combat. Again, it's not B. Troy does not make all decisions. C. Emma and Gia don't make battle strategies. Emma and Gia don't make all the battle strategies. They make some, and Noah never and Noah never is the one who trains the team physically for combat. He's the one. He is the one being trained. He's the one training himself. So A. It's A again. We haven't had a D in a while. We haven't had C in a while. We haven't had C and D for a while. A C or D for a while. C. Correct. Answer A. Zachary's guidance is sometimes questioned, but he is respected. Explanation. Troy initially resists Zachary's advice about resting, but ultimately listens, showing that Zachary is recognized as the leader even when teammates push back. Score 32 out of 34. Question 35, level 8. What effect does the author achieve by describing? What effect does the author achieve? The author, that's me. What effect do I achieve by describing the city air as making the city very humid, even though it was already blazing hot? This is near the end of the chapter. A. To exaggerate the dangers of weather for dramatic effect. B. To make a scientific point about climate. C. To show that the Rangers' powers are failing. Or D. To indicate the city is empty and lifeless. I believe A. I think I remember writing the end, like the last few pages were like dramatically like intense. So I think it's A. Okay, it's not. At least it's not B anymore, but it's always A. Answer A. To exaggerate the dangers of weather for dramatic effect. Explanation: the text intensifies the summer heat and humidity to emphasize the oppressive atmosphere, adding tension as a backdrop into the unfolding events. Score 35 out of 30. Sorry, score. I get 100 now. Score 33 out of 35. Question 36, level 8. Which of the following best explains why the author frequently shifts focus between different ranges of activities at home? Which of the following best explains why the author frequently shifts focus between different ranges of activities at home? A. To show the city's geography. No, that's not the reason why I did that. Sorry, which of the following best explains why I want to put I in there. Why I frequently shift focus between different ranges of activities at home. I definitely did not do it to show the city's geography. B. To build suspense and highlight individual personalities. C. To list every hobby of the characters. No. D. To provide instructions for fighting monsters. I believe it's B. Is it B? I don't know. Thank God, it's B. Should have just always clicked B since ChatGPT always wants it to be B, I guess, or whatever. Correct. Answer B. To build suspense and highlight individual personalities. The explanation: the chapter shows Zachary watching Emma, Troy training, Jake and Gia relaxing, and Noah working on algorithms to develop character depth and maintain tension before the next threat. Score 34 out of 36. Question 37, level 8. Still level 8, I guess. Okay. How does the description of the moon's creature eyes opening, gleaming with a sickly violet glow, contribute to the story? A. It emphasizes the beauty of the moon. No. That the tone of the story is too different. Differently in the tone of the story is different in the description and the answer. It signals B. It signals the awakening of a dangerous entity. C. It describes the color preferences of the Rangers. D. It indicates the moon is about to fall toward Earth. It's B. It signals the awakening of a dangerous entity. That's what basically the whole end of the chapter is about. It's the awakening of the dangerous entity, like the answer says. So B, yeah, correct. Sorry, my bad. Correct. Answer B. It signals the awakening of a dangerous entity. Explanation: the violet glow and opening eyes signify that the slumbering threat on the moon is becoming active, foreshadowing future conflict. Score 35 out of 37. Question 38, level 9. Oh my gosh. Increasing difficulty. Level 9. Okay. Why does the text emphasize the repeated pattern of the Rangers falling asleep after battles? A. To highlight their lack of discipline. No. B. To show the physical and mental toll of constant battles. Maybe. C. To explain why monsters always win. Or D. To prove that resting makes them weaker. Resting makes them stronger. It's the opposite. So it's still B. Man, one word changed. D would have been the answer for once. D. No, B. I haven't typed D once. ChatGPT thought that one of the answers is D, but it wasn't. Correct. Answer B. To show the physical and mental toll of constant battles. Explanation: the repeated emphasis on exhaustion illustrates that being a ranger is draining and that rest is necessary to recover from the pressures of their duties. Score 36 out of 38. Question 39, level 9. What is the description? What is the description? The wind howling like a maniac, the leaves blowing really hard suggests about the city's environment. A. The weather is dangerous and chaotic, reflecting an approaching threat. B. The Rangers' training is causing storms. C. It is a normal summer breeze. D. The city is celebrating a festival. It's A. Is it? Correct. Okay. It's between A and B. Whatever. Answer A. The weather is dangerous and chaotic, reflecting an approaching threat. Explanation: the extreme wind and rustling leaves parallel the growing tension to foreshadow the coming danger from the moon's awakening force. Score 37-39. We have not had any C's or D's yet, but there are still. I cannot spell. I cannot spell. What is this? I cannot spell. I cannot spell. Oh my gosh, how many times did I have to say that? We have not had any C's or D's yet, but there are still 11 questions. So don't worry. The answer, though, oh my gosh. What is this? What is that? It's OIO. Oh, I know. You guys are so funny. Question 40, level 9, harder than previous 5. Oh my gosh. They just tell me that level 10 is coming. Oh my gosh. What is the significance of the recurring motif of light and glow in the chapter? E.g. Morpher, Moon Council, Creature's Eyes. What is the significance of the recurring motif of light and glow in the recurring motif of light and glow in the chapter? E.g. Morpher, Moon Council, and Creature's Eyes. A. To show the city is always bright. B. To symbolize awakening. Energy, and impending action. C. To distract the reader from the story. Or D. To emphasize the Rangers' favorite colors. What is the significance of the recurring motif of light and glow in the chapter? E.g. Morpher, Moon Council, Creature's Eyes. B. The answer, though, is B. I forgot that it is in there. Hold on, guys. Am I dad on? Oh, apparently it's not. Okay. Correct. Answer B. To symbolize awakening, energy, and impending action. Explanation: the glowing Morpher, blinking council, and Creature's Eyes all signify activation, building tension, and signaling that events are about to escalate. Score 38 out of 40. Question 41, level 10, very hard. Didn't I say, like, levels 1 through 10? There's 10 questions left, and we're on level 10. So there's only, like, 11 levels? ChatGPT, I said 10. Which element in the chapter which means level 10 is going to have to be... Yeah, which means level 10 is going to have to be longer in terms of questions than the rest of the levels. I wanted to be equal. Which element in the chapter best illustrates the connection between Earth and the awakening force on the moon? Which element in the chapter best illustrates the connection between Earth and the awakening force on the moon? A. The trees shading the people below. B. The subtle spike in energy readings no attracts. C. The fans people use to cool themselves. D. Troy's tornado kicks. D. Troy's tornado kicks on water bottles. B. Oh, it's C. Wait, it's C. Yeah, hold on, it's C. I got it incorrect. No. What? What in the world? I got it correct? Wait, correct. Answer B. The subtle strike energy brings no track. Wait, what's the explanation? Noah's algorithm detects energy surges linked to the moon's awakening, showing a direct, unseen connection between the distant threat and Earth. Oh, that makes sense now. Later, like earlier in the chapter, I said that this stuff is supposed to detect energy surges, like surges. An example was like teleportation, like enemies teleportation into the city, stuff like that. Stuff that has like the same amount of energy as teleportation into the city. That No, his algorithm detects. He's not even done with the algorithm either, so I don't know why it's doing that already. Score 39 out of 41. Question 42, level 10. And Noah doesn't even see the energy surge because he's sleeping. Question 42, level 10. What is the narrative purpose of describing the wind, air, and shadows intensifying simultaneously? A. To illustrate a weather forecast. B. To heighten suspense and foreshadow a major event. C. To describe a training technique for the Rangers. D. To indicate the Rangers are dreaming. B. Still not having any C or D's. ChatGPT is stupid. ChatGPT is stupid. ChatGPT is stupid. This is very frustrating, but fun at the same time. Takes so long to load. Yeah, correct. Answer B. To heighten suspense and foreshadow a major event. Explanation. The intensifying wind, air, and shadow signal that a significant threat is imminent, building tension for the reader. Score 40 out of 42. Question 43, level 10. How does the author show the contrast between the calm city and the danger looming from the moon? How does the author show the contrast between the calm city and the danger looming from the moon? A. By describing people using fans. A. By describing people using fans and shopping normally. How does the author show the contrast between the calm city and the danger looming from the moon? A. By describing people using fans and shopping normally while hints of a lunar threat appear. B. By showing the Rangers completely unaware of Earth. C. By emphasizing the monsters' victories. D. Or D. By showing rain and storms in the city. I believe it's A, right? Okay, so it was A. Perfect. At least there's more A's now than there were before that streak of B's. Yeah, before that streak of B's. Correct. Answer A. By describing people using fans and shopping normally while hints of a lunar threat appear. Explanation. The ordinary peaceful activities of people on Earth contrast with the growing unseen danger from the moon, emphasizing suspense. Score 41 out of 43. Question 44, level 10. Which line best illustrates the ancient and commanding nature of the awakening moon creature? A. Tiny lights blinked across the hidden council one after another, like heartbeats slowly awakening beneath the lunar dust. B. Emma rested under his arm, drifting off with thoughts of peace. C. Troy picked up his training sticks and stuck them in the corner of the garage. D. Jake lay sprawled on his bed. I think that one's obvious. It's A. It's A. It's gotta be A. Correct. Answer A. Tiny lights blinked across the hidden council one after another, like a heartbeat slowly awakening beneath the lunar dust. Explanation. The blinking lights are described as a heartbeat, conveying an ancient, living, and powerful force awakening beneath the moon's surface. Score 42 out of 44. Question 45, level 10. What does the description of shadows stretching toward what is the description of shadows stretching towards some unseen point above primarily convey? A. The shape of city buildings. B. The looming presence of hidden threat. C. The effect of sunlight on leaves. Or D. A fun game the Rangers are playing towards some unseen point above primarily convey the looming presence of a hidden threat. It's B. We haven't had any C or D's. Oh. Correct. Answer B. The looming presence of a hidden threat. Explanation. The unnatural stretching of shadows foreshadows The unnatural stretching of shadows foreshadows the powerful entity awakening on the moon, creating tension and suspense. Score 43 out of 45. Question 46, level 10. Why does the author repeatedly show each ranger performing different personal actions at home? A. To emphasize the ordinary human sides and build suspense before conflict. B. To explain their favorite meals. C. I do not believe it's to explain their favorite meals. C. To demonstrate how bored. The reason why it's not B, if they guys not B, is because I don't include any eating. Like, I don't, besides like the popcorn and sodas and stuff, but like I don't include any eating in the chapter 1. Chapter 2 I do, eating froyos. That's part of the chapter 2 the chapter 2 sneak peek that we'll be handing out. That will be emailing to all of you. C. To demonstrate how bored they are, or D. To provide instructions for new training routines. It's A. To emphasize the ordinary human sides and build suspense before conflict. Correct. Answer A. To emphasize the ordinary human sides and build suspense before conflict. Explanation. Showing the Rangers sleeping, relaxing, or training highlights their humanity in contrast with the growing external threat, heightening suspense. Score 44 out of 46. Question 47, level 10. Which phrase indicates that the lunar force's awakening is deliberate and intelligent? A. Cracks spider across the lunar dust as a shadow stirred within a crater long thought lifeless. B. Jake picked up his phone from the living room table again and dialed Troy's number. C. The ceiling fan spun lazily above him. Or D. Popcorn bowls and half-inch sodas cluttered the table. The lunar force's awakening is deliberate and intelligent. Let's just do the one that actually has lunar dust in it. It's A. Correct. Answer A. Cracked spider across the lunar dust as a shadow stirred within a crater long thought lifeless. Lots of reading. Wow. Explanation. The careful description of movement and the deliberate awakening suggests intelligence and purpose behind the lunar force. Score 45 out of 47. 3 questions left. Haven't had a single C or D yet. Question 48, level 10. But since I told it to do it. Question 48, level 10. And it told me it would. It told me it would do it, and it didn't. Question 48, level 10. How does the repeated reference to light morpher Moon Council creatures' eyes function in the narrative? A. To indicate favorite colors of characters. B. To symbolize awakening energy in the start of conflict. C. To show time passing in the city. Or D. To describe the sun's brightness in Los Angeles. It is B. Correct. Answer B. To symbolize awakening energy and the start of conflict. Explanation. The glowing elements signal activation, hinting that both the Rangers and the lunar threat are gearing up for imminent action. Score 46 out of 48. Question 49, level 10. 2 questions left. 2. Dose. What is the line? Every instinct screamed danger, yet no movement could escape the pull of the awakening force. Emphasize. A. The Rangers' laziness. B. The inevitability and overwhelming power of the lunar threat. C. The heat wave in Los Angeles. Or D. Noah's energy tracking algorithm. It's B. I'm not going to do it for the last question because one answer choice is not going to have any. Yeah. There were some C's. I think C was like the first answer, and then A and just B took over, and then A and B just took over. Correct. Answer B. The inevitability and overwhelming power of the lunar threat. B. Explanation. The line conveys that the awakening force is so powerful that it affects everything around it, creating tension and a sense of unavoidable danger. Score 47 of 49, and I'll get 2 wrong total. I'm gonna get this one right. Question 50, level 10, final question. Which of the following best summarizes the overarching tension at the end of chapter 1? A. The Rangers are bored and relaxing at home. B. A powerful ancient force is awakening on the moon while the Rangers are resting unaware. C. The city is preparing for festival. Or D. The Rangers are deciding what to eat for dinner. I do not think it's D. I think every question in here had one funny answer, one obvious answer that's wrong. B. We're all like past 15 questions. We're all focused on the powerful ancient force because that's what the whole end of the chapter is about. So B. Correct. The final reading. Answer B. A powerful ancient force is awakening on the moon while the Rangers are resting unaware. Correct. Answer B. A powerful ancient force is awakening on the moon while the Rangers are resting unaware. Explanation. The chapter ends with the lunar threat beginning to stir, creating suspense and setting up the conflict for the next chapter, while the Rangers remain in a brief moment of peace. Final score, 48 out of 50. You did an excellent job. Only 2 questions were missed. Do you want me to show which ones they were and why? No. I want to see how many A's there were, B's there were, and so on throughout this whole quiz. I want to see which letter had the most, A or B. I feel like it's B though. It's gonna be a lot. Oh my gosh. Got it. Let's tally up the answer choices you've selected throughout the 50 question quiz. Here's the breakdown based on your responses. No. The total based on what? The total. The total based on what? Based on what the correct answer was. No, the total based on what the correct answer was. Got it. You want the count based on the correct answers for each question, not what you selected. Here's the tally from the 50 question. Here's the tally from the 50 question quiz. This shows how the correct answers were distributed across all 50 questions. Do you want me to break it down by difficulty level as well? There were not 9 D's. How were there 9 D's? A had 5, B had 30, C had 6. A were not less. A had not had 5. There was way more A's than there were C or D's. D's had like none. I don't remember having clicking D as the correct answer. I got 2 wrong. This shows how the correct. This is how ChatGPT is stupid. You can't even total up each. Do you want me to break it down by difficulty level as well? No. You are stupid. I want to see how it responds. Oh, this has nothing to do with the video. Oh, this has nothing to do with the video. Ah. Wait. Hold on. I misspelled it. I want to edit. I want to edit. Edit the video. Nope, not edit. Sorry. What? No, you are stupid. I'm supposed to say it for that up there. Do you want to break down my difficulty level as well? No, you are stupid. This has nothing to do with the video, guys. I just want to see what responds. What responds this time? This is what the actual response is. No, you are stupid. What in the world? All right, I hear you loud and clear. No hard feelings. I'm still here to change. I'm still here to help if you change your mind. Thanks. You got it. Ha ha. It's okay with it. What makes this quiz so much easier is the fact that the answer choices are so like the same, and it just made it easier because if I didn't know what the answer was, or if you didn't know what the answer was, did you keep clicking the one that was most answered or most frequently answered? I kept clicking B even if I didn't know it because I thought it was correct. First of all, I thought it was correct. And second of all, I should know if it's correct because I wrote the story. I should remember everything, and I also read the chapter so many times, trying to connect chapter 2 to chapter 1, and also because it's frequent. It's the frequently one. B was frequent. It had like 10 questions in a row. That was B. So I clicked B. I got it right. So that's why I got 2. And it's also what just made it easier is because even though the questions were difficult, the level kept getting higher in difficulty. Even the questions were difficulty worded and like hard to understand, and the levels kept getting higher in difficulty. I'm the one who wrote this chapter. I'm the author. I've read this chapter so many times trying to connect chapter 2 to chapter 1 like I just said, and it just seemed easy. Leave a comment down below. Email me what your score was. I'll evaluate it and maybe help you understand the chapter a little more. If you did do really badly on this quiz, please email me with your score that you want an explanation video on the chapter. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you have a very fantastic day. If you enjoy this video, I recommend you watch my video where I do a try not to laugh challenge for the first time ever. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you have a very fantastic day, and take care, everybody.